US President Donald Trump says any deal to end the war with Iran must be, I quote, great and meaningful, or there will be no deal at all. The comments come as Washington and Tehran downplay hopes of a breakthrough, despite signs of progress. Iran's foreign ministry says it reached an agreement with the US on many issues, but warned that a final deal is not imminent. Tehran says the potential agreement focuses on ending the war and the US naval blockade of the vital waterway in exchange for safe transit through the strategic waterway. Iran also says the strait's management belongs to the coastal states and that Tehran will charge fees only for navigational services. The proposal, however, will leave out the nuclear issue, which will be negotiated over a 60-day period if the framework accord is agreed. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio earlier said that a deal to end the war could materialize today. He also stressed negotiations remain a work in progress and that Washington would give diplomacy every chance to succeed.
The president's not going to make a bad deal. He's just not. This issue, no one has done more and no one has been more serious about the threat of a nuclear Iran than President Trump has been. And so I'm very confident, and we should all be very confident, that we're either going to have a good agreement or we're going to have to deal with it another way. We'd prefer to have a good agreement.
And for more, Kate Fisher is covering the story for CNA live from Washington, D.C. Now, Kate, despite the progress, President Trump is tempering expectations of a deal, even as Iran is taking a more cautious tone. What are the main gaps that still remain?
Well, yeah, I think there are huge gaps. And as you point out, not just in the terms of what they're negotiating, but in their public rhetoric as well. Donald Trump saying on his social media platform that it isn't even fully negotiated yet. And the Iranians, as you said, saying there is no deal imminent, which kind of makes us feel like we're almost back where we were before there were these signs of progress. The biggest sticking points are the same sticking points that we've seen throughout this, mainly the nuclear enrichment program that the Iranians have. The US wants that to be ended. The Iranians are saying that in this memorandum of understanding, that will not even be discussed. The Strait of Hormuz, of course, is a huge issue for both sides. Donald Trump desperately wants that strait reopened so that global oil traffic can resume its what it was before this conflict began, and hopefully bring down the price of gas at the pumps here in the United States. But as you mentioned there, Iran not fully saying that they will open that without these, what they're describing as payments for navigational services. That is a concession slightly on saying that there should be tolls paid for oil tankers, but it's still not completely free movement. And then you have another major sticking point, which is the fighting in Lebanon. The US saying that needs to, Iran saying that should be a separate issue, whereas Marco Rubio saying that, he backs Israel's right to defend itself there.
Kate, thank you for bringing us the latest. That was Kate Fisher covering this story for CNA, live from Washington, D.C.